Hello, welcome to Arrival Graphics. Today we are going to teach you how to create a birthday flyer like the one that I'm showing to you. So I'm going to teach you the process on how to create such a flyer. To do that, you click on Ctrl N to set a page. After that, you go to where your background is. So we are going to create a shape to create our background. So if you want to do that, you just go to where your shape tool is. So you click on the shape tool, then you search for the color. So I'm using gradients. So I'm creating the shape. I have already set the color for the gradient. After that, you go to properties. So if you are not seeing properties over there, you just go to window. You click on window, then you click on properties. So I'm going to set the color for the gradients. This is not all that okay for me. To do that, you click on any part of the color. So you click on color to set it. So we are setting the color for it. So you set the color bit by bit to the point where you know that it's okay for you. The other end too, you can click on it to set the color for that. Okay, this one is okay for me. So when you are done, you click on OK, and there is a small arrow here. You just click on it to turn your gradient upside down. You can also set the angle where you want your gradient to be. So assuming you want it to be at the 120 degrees, you just input it there. So me, I want it to be 90 degrees. After that, you lock the color that you created. You lock the background you just created so that it won't distract you whilst you are doing other things. So we are creating a circle by using the same gradient color. After that, we set the stroke. So you click on the move tool. So we are moving it small. Let's move it small. So I'm going to set the color. I'll only set for the gradients. So what I'll do here is to click on the stroke. I'm going to import image. So I'm importing image onto my workspace. So let me take this image. Before I will set the stroke for the color, the band and the circle that I just created. what I'm going to do here is to put my image above the color, the circle that I just created. So I'm putting it above it. So let me enlarge the image. After that, we hit on the enter key. So let me move it above it. So when you click on clipping mask, since it is below the circle, you won't see it over there. So what I have to do is to move the picture above it. So when you are done doing that, then you click on clip, create a clipping mask, and it will fit the circle. Bear in mind that I duplicate the other circle too. So when you draw the circle, make sure you duplicate it for it to be two. If you make it only one, you won't be able to draw the stroke for the other one. So the one that I just duplicated it, I'm just enlarging it. So if you want to duplicate a circle or a layer, you just hit on the Control key and J. So here, what I'm going to do is to I'm going to remove the color from the background of the second layer, then create a stroke for that circle that I just duplicated it. So this was the circle that I just enlarged. So I'm going to create only stroke for it. To do that, I will just go to the color and click on that dash 2 there to cancel the color filling. So it's only the stroke that I'm filling. And I'm setting white for it. And the pixels too, you can set the size for the stroke. So I'm using 10 pixels. You can also set and for the type of line, you just click on it to set it. And you can come to dashes. So I want it to be the dash, the number of dashes. So I want the length to be 120 pixels. And the gaps too, I want it to be 12. Then I skip the other one, then I go to the other gap, then set it to 20. So this is how I want it. After that, I duplicate the layer that I just made a stroke for it. So I'm duplicating it again. So if you want to duplicate it, you know that that one is the ellipse one. So the first layer was the ellipse one, and the one that I duplicated is the ellipse one copy. So I'm going to duplicate the ellipse one because the ellipse one copy is the one that I just create the picture to fit in. So it's the ellipse one that I just made a stroke on it. So I'm going to duplicate it and enlarge it. And remember I told you that if you want to duplicate a layer, you just hit on the Control key and J. So you click on the ellipse one too. So I'm clipping on. So I have duplicated it. So what I'm going to do is to enlarge the one that I just duplicated it. To do that, you hit on the control key, hold on the shift key, then you drag to enlarge it. So I'm minimizing it. Okay. So I'm also going to set another stroke for it. So this time around I'm going to use 180 pixel, and the gaps too I will use. So for the first gap I'm using 15, and the other one too I'll just remain it. So I will maintain that one to be 20. So what I'm going to do next is to enlarge it small. So I'm enlarging it. This is okay. The gap is too big, so let me minimize it. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to create a circle. I'm going to create a small circle. So I'll click on correct or OK key. After that, I go to where my layers are, then move the circle that I just drew, the layer for that circle beneath the creeping image. So if you want to move layer below any other layer, you just go to where your layers are, then you click on that layer and move it below that layer, and it will be under it or beneath it. In the same way, if you want to move any layer above any other layer, you just do so. You click on that layer, then you move it above it. So let me enlarge this circle small. So I'm moving this circle to the other side. So what I'm going to do is to set the gradient, the color gradient for it. I'm changing it. So this one is not okay for me. Let me see this one too. It's not good for me. Okay, I'm going to use this one. So I'm setting the color gradient. So I'm going to take this arrow onto my workspace. I'm going to use it for my design. So if you want to take a layer from another workspace, you just go to that workspace, then you carry it, then you move it to where you are working or your working area. So this is the arrow. I'm going to type the text. If so, the date of the person's birthday is if March. So I will just highlight the TH and reduce the font size. So I'm going to set a gradient for it. Here I'm going to use a gold gradient. Normally when you install your Photoshop, you won't see gold gradient over there unless you go to internet and download it. So if you want gold gradient, you just go to Google, then you search for gold gradient. After that, you install it or upload it onto your Photoshop. the gradient for it. So if you want to do that, you just go to FX, you click on FX. I'm using a gold gradient for that. So when you click on FX, then you click on gradient overlay, then you click on bevel and bars. So I'm setting the size and the depth. This one is okay. Then you zoom out your work. To zoom out your work, you press on the control key and the bracket sign. So if you want to zoom out your work, you just click on Control plus or Control minus. Zoom in, zoom out. You press on Control plus, Control minus. I'm drawing another circle too. So here I'm setting the pixel size to be 1 for the circle that I have drawn. So I'm duplicating the circle. To duplicate it, you press on Ctrl J. So I've duplicated it. Then after that, you merge it. So this layer that I have merged, I'm going to duplicate it again. Then move it to the bottom of the clipping image. So if you want to merge your picture, you just merge your layers. You just click on the first layer, then you hold on the shift key, then you go to the last layer, then you click on it to highlight all. After that, there is a pin button or arrow at the bottom of the layers. Then you click on that one, the one before the FX. You click on it to merge it for you. So I'm going to duplicate the layer. So let me undo my work. So I'm undoing it. Okay. I have now move it, the duplicated one at the bottom of the clipping image. So I'm going to set the opacity. So if you want to set opacity for any layer, just go there, then you input it. So I'm setting it to be 50. So I'm going to draw another shape. So to do that, just like what I told you before, you just go to your shape tool. So you click on shape tool, then you click on the star. After that, you go to the menu bar, then you click on the shape. So when you click on that shape, then you draw it over there. You select any shape that you want to draw. So this is the one that I just took. So I'm going to rasterize it in order to make any editing on it. If you don't rasterize it, you can't make editing on it. After that, I will just use the elliptical tool to cut it. So that is how I did it. I used the elliptical tool to cut that layer I just drew. So the next thing that I'm going to do again, I'm using the ellipse tool to create small circles. So I'll just go to stroke and set it to be white. So I'm setting white stroke. So when you are done, you duplicate it to make several copies of it. Then you move it small, then you merge it. So that is how I did it, just like how I did the round circle. I'm creating another small circle here. So I'm going to change the color of it. To do that, go to FS, then you click on color overlay. Then you duplicate it. So I'm enlarging it again. So I'm duplicating it just like what I did for the first one. But before that, I'm going to properties to set for stroke. So to do that, I'm setting for only stroke. So I'll click on cancel fill in. So I'm setting the size of the stroke to be 7 pixels. So this size is okay. After that, I duplicate it to make several copies of it, just like what I did for the first one. So if you are doing it, make sure you zoom in your work in order to see your layers well. So I'm moving them. So I'm done moving it, and after that I'll highlight all. And just like what I said before, if you want to merge it, You click on the first layer, then you hold on the shift key, then you go to the last layer of the circle, then you highlight, you click on it to highlight all. After that, you merge it, and when you are done with the merging, you duplicate it to make several copies of them. So when you are doing it, please make sure you take your time to do it. Don't be in rush. So do it, take your time and do it. Don't be in rush. Yeah, I have skipped some of the process, especially how I duplicated the round circle. So if you know the first process or how I go about it, you understand how the thing goes. So if you are doing it, make sure you take your time and duplicate your layers. And when you are merging them too or highlighting them, please make sure that you highlight the one that you want to duplicate. So the one that you want to merge, make sure you highlight those one. If you highlight any other layer apart from the one that you are working on, it will automatically highlight it for you, and when you are trying to move it, it will also move it along. So please, when you are doing it, make sure you don't highlight any other layer apart from the one that you are working on. So we are done doing it. So I'm going to use the line tool to create a shape here. And when you are creating a shape by using the line tool, you hold on the shift key, then you drag to draw a vertical line. For horizontal line tool, you hold on the shift key, then you drag to draw it. Let me undo my work. The line is not accurate, so I'm undoing it. What I'm going to do here is to change the color for the background. So when you are done with your flyer and you want to change the color for your background, you go to the shape that you created before you started the flyer. So remember, I unlocked that shape. So when you click on it, then you unlock it. After that, you go to properties. So you search for properties. So when you go to properties, then you click on the gradient color to set for a new gradient. So when you click on it, any gradient that you want to set, then you click on that. Then you set for the color gradients. So that is how we set a color gradient for a flyer after you are done designing it. So any color at all that you want to set for your flyer, you just go to properties, then you click on the color, then you set for it. So if you want to know more about how to make flyers or anything that you want to know on Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and also like and comment for the video as well. See you in our next video. Thank you.